What is going on, guys? This is Romana of the IWC Gamers Goon here today, not only with your Extreme Rules preview and predictions, but now we have a new addition to the channel, and no, it is not the barking dog, even though that is a new addition to my current life, living in an apartment with some people that I go to school with. So on top of that addition, we have this addition right here, a new microphone set. Hopefully it's coming out well, crisp, and nice and good for all of you. But you know where we're leading into this, man. We have a show this Sunday, believe it or not. I mean, to be honest, this show is one-sided by a lot, because you have Raw, who, let's be honest, Raw has provided really no substance to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view this weekend, and then you have Smackdown, and they're a completely other side of the story, where they have people that legitimately care about, people that you can invest your time in, people that you want to see, and that's kind of what happens with USA and Fox as well. Smackdown, one hand, stacked. Raw, the other hand, isn't. Raw, they have Lashley, they have Priest, they have Hardy, they have Sheamus, that's about it. They have Goldberg. But let's be honest, who cares? Who cares? And then you go to SmackDown, they got the bigger names. They got the Roman Reigns, they got the Beckys, they got the Balors, they got the Brocks, they're going to have the Rollins. They're going to have all these big names. And it's kind of just one-sided. Obviously, they have Bayley, they have Sasha, they have Bianca, and then Raw, they have Charlotte Flair, and an Alexa Bliss who isn't really at the peak of where she used to be. I mean, you look at both sides of things, and it's really one-sided towards SmackDown. And then you look at this pay-per-view, and you really are sitting there wondering, why don't I care about the Raw side of things? It's because Raw hasn't been good. Raw hasn't been desirable. There's not been a single feud on Raw that I've been looking forward to. There's not been a single instance that I'm looking at this side, at this card, and really like, well, this is the match for Raw. This is going to be the one that is going to gravitate. I'm going to gravitate towards. This is going to be the one that you want to see. Meanwhile, yes, SmackDown, they have about, I'm not going to say, they've had a couple matches that are going to be cool. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll see how that goes going forward with SmackDown and Raw. Meanwhile, we got a pay-per-view this Sunday. And like I said, completely one-sided. And we're going to start it off talking about the lesser of two brands on this show. We're going to start it off with Damian Priest defending his United States Championship against Jeff Hardy and against Sheamus in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. Here's my question. Why is Damian Priest defending it against two individuals rather than just defending it against Jeff Hardy? That doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Or even Damian Priest. Why does that have to be a triple threat? Why does it have to be a triple threat? Why can't it just be Hardy and Priest or Sheamus and Priest? Why can't it just be that? Why does there have to be a triple threat? It just makes zero sense to me. Meanwhile, this match is probably going to be an okay match. But I wouldn't give the title to Sheamus. I think Sheamus should be moving on to something bigger. He's been in the mid-card scene for a little bit now, and hopefully he moves on to hopefully face Big E, because I think that would be a solid little match there for Big E. Gives him a decent heel to work with, gives him a nice victory on his resume. Sheamus can bring him out into a good match. Jeff Hardy, I don't see why you'd put the belt on him. Jeff Hardy is somebody that at this point in his career, he should be putting people over. He has the name notoriety to him. He has the background of being a champion in the past. He has all the aspects that really can put somebody over. When you're going out there and you're having a 4 or 5 star match with a Jeff Hardy and you're getting the victory over, it means a lot more than what Jeff Hardy did to Karrion Kross, where he comes out there and beats Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross is instantly considered a joke on the main roster. It makes a lot more sense for somebody of Jeff Hardy's caliber to be putting people over rather than to be people that don't put people over, and to actually just really go against what needs to be happening. Vince McMahon is one of the biggest buffoons I think I've ever seen. When you need to put people over, he doesn't. He does not do that. And why doesn't he do that? I can't answer that question for you. It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous that Vince McMahon cannot figure that out. And when you have somebody that is up and coming like a Karrion Kross or like a Damian Priest in this instance, you have to put him over. And that's a situation with this match here, the United States Championship match. Damian Priest must walk out of Extreme Rules as your United States Champion. Simple. Lay it down on the fact of the matter. That is it there in that match. Then we get to the... Let's go to Liv Morgan and Carmella. This match is probably the most underwhelming match on the card, if I'm being honest with everybody. Carmella, she's okay. Given the right situation, she can't have an okay match. She's not going to carry a match. Liv Morgan, somebody that I think everybody knows how much I love Liv Morgan. She is one of the best people they have right now on the roster. It's severely underrated in my opinion. I think she should be vying for a women's championship, and that has not happened in the case. I thought she should have won women's Money in the Bank. That was not the case. So, is this her time? Big pay-per-view win potentially? I don't know. But I would like to see Liv Morgan go on and potentially challenge Becky Lynch. That would do wonders for Liv Morgan, because Liv Morgan fits exactly really what they want Becky to be against, where Becky is going against somebody who's well-liked, and Becky's just really cocky towards them, and like, listen, I know everybody loves you, but let's be honest here, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, come on. Lynchburg is in full effect, people, and Becky Lynch is going to beat Bianca Belair Lynchburg is in full effect, and that will happen, but Liv Morgan's going to be built up to face Lynchburg in the future, in my opinion, because I don't really have any desire to see Carmella challenge yet again for the Women's Championship. That is something I do not want to see, and I severely hope that does not happen. I hope that Carmella gets moved over to Monday Night Raw, so we can at least have a semi-decent Smackdown episode without seeing Carmella and her garbage performance. I'm not a fan of Carmella, but she can have an okay match. I just don't want to see her. Simple. Liv Morgan, hopefully you get the win. Then we're going to get to the Tag Team Championship match over on SmackDown. We have the Usos defeating their Tag Team Championships against the Street Profits. Now, obviously, you have two teams that everybody, I think, loves. The Usos, obviously, part of the bloodline, part of the Roman Reigns empire that is currently being ran over there on SmackDown. And then you have the Street Profits, a very exciting, fun tag team that was brought up from NXT, came in there, was the Raw Tag Team Champions for a little bit. Everybody loves the Street Profits. Everybody loves the Usos. This will be a very good match. This might be a little contender for match of the night, to be honest with you. It might give Roman and Finn a little bit of a run for their money. Should it be a fun match? Absolutely. Two teams, I trust them. I would trust them with my lives to put on a 5-star match if given the right amount of time, if I had to. These are teams that I don't believe could have a bad match together. As for what's going to happen, like I've been saying during the reign of Roman, there is not a shot in hell that the Usos are going to be losing those tag team championships. Not at least not until you can start seeing the dissension between Roman and the Usos. Usos aren't losing it until probably about 3 or 4 months before Roman loses his championship, and it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. If you're going to be part of the Reign Empire, you have to be able to hold your own, and that's what I expect the Usos to be able to do against the Street Profits. Should be in for a fun match, but at the end of the night, the Usos will be walking out still your tag team champions. Then we get to the Raw Women's Championship match. We have Charlotte Flair going up against Alexa Bliss. I've made it no secret that I am not a fan of the Alexa Bliss character, the stolen Bray Wyatt gimmick. I've made myself very clear. I don't like the voodoo magic. I don't like Lily. I don't like Charlie, the Charlotte Flair version of Lily. I don't like it. However, I also do not like Charlotte as a champion. Charlotte is somebody that is undeservingly giving high spots. She has been a champion how many times? Like 13 times. And to be honest with you all, yes, she's talented, but she's not as talented as some of the others. She's not as talented as a Sasha. She's not as talented as a Bayley. She's not as talented as a Bianca and Asuka. There's a lot of women I would have before Charlotte Flair. Now, is she better than Carmella? Absolutely. Is she better than a Nia Jax? Absolutely. Is she better than a Shayna Baszler? I don't know. I like Shayna, and I would say that I would probably prefer Shayna to Charlotte Flair. I mean, Charlotte Flair is somebody that is obviously Vince's golden girl, and with what came out last weekend, I don't know if that is really a reason to be the golden girl anymore, because obviously the reason why she was pushed the way she was because of who her father was. And this is a separate video completely. However, the news that came out this past weekend suggests that Ric Flair might be in the doghouse, especially with the WWE, especially with AEW and all the promotions that want or could have wanted Ric Flair. Ric Flair's in the doghouse. There's a lot of people that are upset at Ric Flair, rightfully so. And maybe that caused Charlotte. I don't know, but the reason why she's in the position she is because of who her father is. So, just as quickly as Charlotte was able to get to where she was because of who her father is, I'm wondering what the news about Ric Flair, and it will be a separate video I'll make later in the week. I'm wondering what the news with Ric Flair and what he did years ago. I'm wondering how that might affect Charlotte Flair here. And obviously they're two different people, but I can see it happening. Vince McMahon has made it well known that he's going to be petty to people. He's made it well known that you're not going to just sit there and ruin what once was a good name in the WWE. Who's to say that Charlotte Flair doesn't feel the repercussions? Because I'm going to be honest. At one point, I thought she was Vince's golden girl. At this point, I don't know if that's really his golden girl. It's up in the air. So, as much as I would think Charlotte Flair is probably going to win, just because of my disdain towards Charlotte, and Charlotte, don't get me wrong, my dislike of Charlotte doesn't emanate from what her father did. I'm not going to hold that upon her. I just don't like her as a performer because of how shoved down our throat she is. I don't need to see Charlotte win 13 championships. I don't need to see that. I would much rather see 4 or 5 times of 200, 300-day title runs than to see 13 times of 50-day title runs. Nobody cares. It's not important. So I would honestly, regardless of the gimmick that I hate I would give it to Alexa Bliss. I would have Alexa Bliss win the Women's Championship on Extreme Rules. Obviously, it's probably not going to be the overwhelming majority opinion to give her the championship. It might not be well received because there is a lot of people that obviously are upset about the Bray Wyatt stuff. But I think it's the right decision because first off, I don't believe Charlotte Flair should be the champion right now. Raw seriously lacks stars in the women's division. Yeah, you have Rhea, but let's be honest, Rhea hasn't been anything. Yeah, you have Nikki Ash, but yeah, she hasn't been really anything. You have Shayna, you have Nia, who cares? Charlotte's there. And then obviously, you had Alexa Bliss. I don't know why we don't merge the divisions, but Charlotte's legitimately the only person right now that has any importance to her. I would add importance to Alexa because Alexa is somebody that, regardless of how much you don't believe she's a good wrestler, she can hold her own. I'm not saying she's going to go out there and put on 5-star matches like a Sasha. She has to have somebody else in there that can actually work. But she's fine when it's in the ring. She can get in there. She can get a good match out of Charlotte. She can get in there. She can get a good match out of Bayley. She's not like a Nia Jax who's going to have bad match after bad match after bad match. Alexa Bliss will figure it out. Alexa Bliss should win this match. Believe it or not, I'm going to take Alexa Bliss. Then we get into one of the final matches, which also is emanating from the SmackDown side of things. It is Becky Lynch going up and facing Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And let me just tell you right now, Bianca Belair will not be on SmackDown come the draft in October. She will not be on SmackDown. She will be on Raw going up against Charlotte. I can see it now. There is zero chance in hell that Bianca Belair remains on SmackDown. When you have Sasha there, when you have Bayley coming back, when you have Becky there, there ain't no room for Bianca. There ain't no room for Bianca Belair. She will go to Raw and do her own thing and be one of the top names over there on Raw. Don't be surprised when they flip Rhea Ripley for Bianca Belair and they might switch Nikki Ash for somebody like a Liv Morgan or potentially a Naomi. I don't know. But Charlotte and Bianca are going to be the building blocks over on Raw following the draft. So that means basically what I'm saying is Becky ain't losing. Lynchburg ain't losing. Not against Bianca. Not on Sunday. Bianca, I'm sorry, but your time's up. And then we have the head of the table, the tribal chief, the big dog, the best there is currently in the business. We have Roman Reigns defending his championship against the Demon Finn Balor. Now, don't get me wrong. I do love me some Demon Finn. I do. But when in history has Finn Balor announced that before a match he's going to be coming in as the Demon? The Demon is something that he would pull out every once in a while when it was needed at a big show, a SummerSlam, a takeover, a big takeover match. I'm not saying that the Demon isn't a good idea here, but I'm saying you're leaving a lot off the table, or a lot still on the table, because this is showing your entire hand. The end goal for Finn Balor should have been the Demon. I agree with that. There should be a Demon versus a Roman match. I agree with that. But the Demon should not be losing to Roman. And it's not going to be a victory this weekend for Finn Balor. It's just not. I would have personally had him come in as the man Finn Balor. Roman Reigns does what Roman Reigns does and puts Finn Balor on the shelf. Then Roman can come in and he can do his thing at Saudi or whenever he's going to face Lesnar. He can do his thing. Beat Lesnar, whatever. And then I say we wait till Survivor Series. And we finally get this Finn Balor stuff revisited. Finn Balor comes back from injury and is like, you know what, Roman, I've spent the last few months sitting at home wondering, what if I would have beat you? You did some dirty tactic. You injured my knee. You did this. You did that. You cheated. The ref wasn't looking. You used something to hit my knee. Then you speared my knee. And you made it dislocated or whatever. I was wondering, what if? So, Roman, what if we do this thing one more time? But you're going to bring out a side of me that I have not visited in a long, long time. You don't have to say anything about the demon. You can insinuate it. You can sit there and say, hey, you're bringing out a side of me that I didn't think I would ever go back to. You're bringing out the devil. I don't want to say the demon, but you're bringing out something out of me. Roman Reigns and Finn Balor should have been an end game with the demon. It should have been. But you had 2 matches you could have got out of this. Because you have the man, and then you have the demon. And then you still have the Brock feud. So that at least gives you 3 pay-per-view worth of matches. But I don't know anything about wrestling. Vince McMahon does. Anyways, that's all I got for you all today. Hopefully, this recording came out well with this mic. We will see. Hopefully it did its thing. Hopefully it came out well for you all. If not, you won't be seeing this because I will be figuring out a way to re-record this. But anyways, thanks y'all for watching. You know where to find me on Twitter, GamersGoonYT, the Instagram, thegoongameryt, and then obviously like, subscribe, and comment on this very video. And I will be seeing you guys later this weekend.